Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the fourth day of Shipfest Season 2, brought to you by LG Ultragear. I'm Captain Arya, and joining me, my div mates as always, Fizz Killer and Valkyrie. We're starting things off with Bichu Gang and the Soviet Union on Archipelago. Fizz, do you think either of these teams are, better set to take this map on? Well, I think he might not be here. Fizz?
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah, I had to go. So, yes, I guess the choices are all right. I think Chapayev is also a really good choice, and you don't have talent. You got that concealment advantage. You can sell radar. Cleveland is very interesting choice. Let's see if it will pay off or not. I think that little bit of armor missing compared to Baltimore might be a bit of disadvantage.
Hmm. By the way, we
And
might be looking at a rehost. It seems like the Soviet Union is not moving at all, folks. We're going to take a short break and be right back to you with an update. And we're back, folks. Apologies for that slight technical delay. The players hadn't loaded into the game. We're ready to kick things off with Bichugang Max versus the Soviet Union with the first map of Day 4 of Shipfest Season 2, brought to you by LG Ultragear. Valk, what's this team comp looking like and how's it going to play out on this particular map?
Pretty predictable team comp, I have to say. The Cleveland is new though. I haven't seen Bichu. I think at least not yesterday use the Cleveland, but I have been wrong before. I think this should be an interesting map. The circles are quite close, and the islands. Some of the islands offer good shell lobbing opportunities, but
Hmm?
they're a little too close to the enemy. So
Yeah.
it's a risk versus reward sort of situation that you have to think about. And Cleveland should be really good in this particular on this particular map, because Cleveland shell arcs are very very high.
Yeah. And you know what I absolutely love is, all the maps we've actually picked, Archipelago being the fourth and final one, they actually cater to such different playstyles. You can actually, this is where I personally feel your cruisers with torpedoes and your DDs who can probably sneak in and top the living daylights out of you from behind islands would come into really interesting play. And I hope we see some of those sneaky and aggressive moves by teams rather than your standard passive approach.
Uh, I don't know if we'll see a lot of that. Very frankly, at least in the competitive scene, what I've seen is they're usually a little circumspect. However, if someone decides to YOLO when the chips are down, when they've lost caps, you never know. That might just work out. However, I think both teams seem to prefer one flank
Yeah,
and
like
stick to
even
it.
yeah, and Bichu Gang's lightning is very interesting position. I would say like he stayed on the outer circle. I'm not sure why. Like they are, I think giving up the middle circle, but I think they have pushed out with the Cleveland radar. They pushed out Archeon with that Cleveland radar. So I think
I
that's
Yeah,
think
fine.
what he's also doing is detecting the Chapayev, because otherwise, well, actually, the Cleveland can detect the Chapayev, but I think initially when the Cleveland was behind the island, Torpedo, his role was to actually detect the Chapayev and maybe have his team take the Chappie out early, but I don't think that's going to work out. Chappie at that distance is a little hard to hit. It's a slim, small ship. Plus, it's reasonably fast at least. But he's lost a bit of health. I think he got radared by the Chapayev. I think he got a little too close.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
he was in an open gunfight. In fact, he was shooting back at the Chapayev while also getting shot by the lightning from across the cap.
This is potentially a good smoke. However, the problem is the lightning smokes are don't last all that long. So it would make sense to just sit behind, not actually enter the smoke, just sit behind and farm the Chapayev. However, we see Sid Admiral actually moving forward or to take shots at the lightning. I think he has. Does he have the lightning radar? Yeah, I think he does.
I'm I'm not sure. Like let's watch it from their perspective.
There's no other
I
way
don't
for the
think
lightning to
it's radar.
be
I
spotted
don't think
otherwise.
it's radar.
There's no other way for the lightning to be spotted. And now he's farming the Vladivostok. The lightning smoke has gone out, so the Chappie can actually spot the Cleveland. And shots coming in from the Vladivostok.
Oh,
Wow, that was lucky, because that could have really really hurt. I think because of
yeah,
the island, he wasn't able to put the shots right down at the waterline, which is what saved Sid Admiral.
yeah. The
Yeah,
Cleveland armor is thin, so like the thin armor gives the advantage of getting in open. That is,
a-
I think you
and
can
I
get.
think the
So you can
second
say
smoke
advantage
now
of
from
Cleveland.
the lightning to actually give free shooting range to the Cleveland.
Cleveland.
The
What
Chapayev is essentially out of the game at this point. Look at this.
But he's too close to the Chappie. Okay, he's just outside the Chappie's radar range now, but that was a bit of a risky smoke, I have to say. And I don't know how much it helps because if the lightning moves a little between the islands, he can still spot the Cleveland. And since okay, the Cleveland's using his radar now, I
Yeah,
wonder
they
how
will
the
have the
lightning
second
was.
raid.
Yeah, I
They will
wonder
have
how the
second raid now.
lightning was spotted earlier then when the Cleveland was taking shots at him.
I
Interesting.
think he was open shooting probably, and I think he was open shooting. Maybe he thought that he was covered by island, but I think he wasn't. So that would be the case in my opinion.
To the Vladivostok, it is still burning down to 33,000 HP. Despite being behind the island, Tom Cyrex is being farmed.
As I
Yep.
said, the Cleveland's angles, especially the Shellarks,
Is the
they'll
Bismarck actually
really.
secondarying the Baltimore?
He is, but I think he'd be better off shooting the main guns. I think he just doesn't have the shots with that tiny island in front of him. But once he clears that island, I think he should definitely look at shooting the Baltimore.
I think though, if we like Baltimore's angled, I don't think more like Bismarck has a chance to and do anything to Baltimore though, because as we know, it has a 310 millimeter guns, which means that it can't do anything to Baltimore. Bow
Y-
on. It could
Yeah,
just tank all day.
you can't just sit in front of a battleship and continuously tank just assuming your nose won't get bent, right? He can take out your guns, he can aim for the belt, he can do significant damage
Whack
if
your
you let him.
superstructure.
Like your superstructure, I mean, at 8 kilometers you don't want to be sitting so close to a battleship because then the accuracy comes into play, and the battleship then starts destroying your turrets, and it's never a good idea to lose your turrets, right?
Okay,
Also,
uh,
by
Tom
the way, in
Cyrex
case
is
you
going
haven't
in.
noticed, while Tom Cyrex is in trouble, the Soviet Union has actually got 2 points, and they have a 205-point lead already. So even though they get the Vladivostok kill, I have a feeling the Soviet Union is still going to
yeah, but the
be firmly
Cleveland's
in
going down.
control.
Cleveland is going to die.
Cleveland
Oh
going
my
down.
God, he's going now. Yep.
Cleveland's down. That's a bit of a problem because that was their only radar. So the Cleveland going down can potentially be a bit of an issue. Torpedo coming under some fire from the Baltimore, and there's the Chapayev radar. He's well within radar range. Uh, Resolution should have shots on the Lightning. The only problem is there's a Bismarck backing the Lightning up. So if Resolution moves forward, uh, he's gonna get he's gonna get hit by the Bismarck.
I think the Hipper has I think has run his ground, to be honest. Like I think he's way too close. Now if he tries to turn, the Vladivostok will just blap him. Like Hipper is stuck here unfortunately while Bismarck was trying to exit.
Yeah, I
I
think they
don't
need
know.
to
I
concentrate
think it's a
fire on
mistake.
the
Yeah,
Baltimore.
the
I don't understand why they're firing. Why the Hipper is firing AP at the Baltimore though?
I don't
Because
understand why the Hipper's fighting AP at anything. He should just be burning the
yeah,
Vladivostok down at this point.
yeah, burning the
Yeah.
Vladivostok down, burning the Baltimore down. He can do a lot of damage to a Baltimore with his AP.
Yeah, I think what should have happened is that Lightning should have moved up ahead to help Bismarck, and Hipper should have gone towards Chapayev and tried to counter this by Chapayev
And I
I
while
think
the
think
it's
the
a
Hipper
Bismarck and
wants to make
Lightning
a
is
it's
moving.
a
torpedo play.
very it is a torpedo
Oh,
play, but I mean,
this is too late. They are.
yeah, I
It's
mean
in the
this
bag
is
of Soviet Union.
although those stops look good, and all he needs to do now is stop and
Not die.
angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop and angle. That's what he needs to do now. I
No,
don't
he's
know
not
why he's
angling.
still not angling. That's a surprise move. So one top hit, two top hits. Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh,
However, the Vladdy
Unlucky.
doesn't go down. He'd
No
expected the
floods.
Vladdy to go down,
Oh, that's
yeah.
and
it for
that's the
him.
end of the Hipper. Yeah. Not the smartest play from the Hipper, frankly. Also, the Cleveland, I think he should have been a little more patient. They should have focused the Baltimore, who was in a bit of a who was in open ground. The Hipper could have really taken the Baltimore down with
They
some
could have
AP.
actually burnt down the Vladivostok much earlier.
Yeah.
Right. The
Exactly.
Bismarck was just tanking. All the Hipper had to do was switch to HE and start pummeling that Vladivostok, or rather continue, because they did well to get the Vladivostok down to force it out of cover from that island, and then they just stopped shooting at it. And then I think
So-
the lightning wasn't really contributing. Being there to
Yeah.
smoke up the
Yeah.
Cleveland is not effectively using, your only DD in the game. Unfortunate mistakes, and Bichu Gang are going to pay the price for that one as the Soviet Union takes the first win, folks. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to be back with Map 2 for Shipfest Season 2, Day 4. Don't go anywhere. folks, to the second match here on day 4 of the second season of Shipfest, brought to you by LG Ultragear. We've got Vengeance, who are on a great streak so far, if I'm not mistaken, going up against Death Brigade, who are yet to get off the mark. Is today going to be the day, Fazi, where they break their duck, or will their Edinburgh let them down once again?
Well, let's see. I mean, like the performance of our guys at Tau hasn't been really been that good in tournament. They have been insistent on using Edinburgh, which has been proved a questionable choice. And even a more sad thing is that Vladivostok is actually a stock Vladivostok, not even a fully upgraded hull. So I'm not sure what exactly they are planning to do with this lineup.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tricky, but the fact that this is Archipelago is one of the smaller maps in the tournament, that means the Edinburgh might be of a little more use than, say, what we saw yesterday, right? Where I
Yeah,
don't think the Edinburgh could even shoot across the entire zone.
yep, and I think like I'm not sure if this is smoke or radar Edinburgh, because in the first game they did the same thing. They had a lightning at Edinburgh, and Edinburgh also had a smoke and lightning. So was already smoke, and I'm not sure if it is a radar Edinburgh, then it has some use. If it isn't, like, then they are totally blind in this map.
Yep, it's going to be interesting to see how this Edinburgh actually plays into this team comp. We see the Hipper going out wide, the outer ring already captured by Team Vengeance, so they're going to start scoring
Ah,
points already. It is kind of odd that they kind of let it go that fast. The Vlad not in the circle. I think if the Vlad honestly gets stuck on the right side of that island alone, there's going to be real troublesome. The Lightning
yeah,
with a
I'm not
panic
sure.
smoke, or did he get spotted?
I'm not sure. I think he wanted to shoot actually. I think he just like wanted to shoot and just like because wanting that he couldn't put his stop to his finger on a trigger. So
Look at where the Hipper is actually positioning itself. And by the way, it seems like the Lightning is radared and has been found out. Loses most of its HP as he gets whacked while it's stationary in that smoke. Disastrous start here for Death
yeah,
Brigade,
I'm not.
especially given that they want to break that duck today. It's looking tricky.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not sure what's the Hipper position really. Like, Hipper should actually be moving, but he's got good broadsides on at Baltimore, so I think, oh, that's a dud, unfortunately. But he should now start moving and trying to get on the flanks of Baltimore. And the Vladdy is stuck, is grounded, and I suspect even the Vladdy is totally stuck because even it's like it moves very slowly compared to the Vladivostok of the Alpha team.
By the way, a lot
So
of damage going out on Nayancool between the Edinburgh and the Talon. They're doing a splendid job. I think this is where all those extra guns on the Edinburgh are being put to good use.
yeah, I think like he underestimated the Nayankur and underestimated Hipper AP and the Hipper accuracy. So I think that's a props to them actually to like even that Hipper position did work out well for them.
Hmm. But the
But
point
they've
remains, they are still 40 points behind on in terms of score. They're not getting points for the middle ring.
yeah. And like the problem is now though Vladivostok is like stuck. He's so stuck to the ground he can't even move forward. He can't move backwards. He's stuck in a very bad place. This is, I mean, a very bad situation. I think he wanted to park beside the island, but he was too close to the ground.
I think he's just made himself comfortable there, and he's resigned himself to his fate, unfortunately. Doesn't look like he will be getting out of there anytime soon. But on the
Yeah.
bright side, he's not that exposed.
Hmm. Even actually props to him because now Wicked Avi has lost a lot of HP compared to him, even though he's stock. But now Talon is getting cross shots at him also now,
Oh, there we
so
go.
he
You
will
see the
have
engine up and running.
I no the problem is he will have to turn left. When he will turn left, he will also get stuck there. So like he has to do the reverse whole forward reverse thing a lot of whole times.
I think he should be able to sneak out now.
Okay, we have a radar from Edinburgh. Yeah, it's a radar Edinburgh, and they have shots on I don't think they have shots on Z. That's unfortunate.
The
But they have forced
unfortunate,
him out of the middle cap.
yeah, but what's unfortunate about the Edinburgh is, that AP is not going to do anything to the Vladdy at this angle.
Yeah,
Ooh, the
he will have.
Baltimore out and exposed. The Edinburgh is taking shot. The Hipper is also contributing. Nankul down to 14,000 HP. This looks like it could be potentially trouble for
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Baltimore was getting a bit of a good amount of to broadside to Edinburgh. Then that is enough for its angle, to be honest. Because as we know, these British rifles have got special angles in AP too.
Yep, Nankul's in a tricky spot because he doesn't really know whom to angle against. Do I risk the Hipper or the Edinburgh? As the Lightning has been spotted once again, despite in smoke losing HP. He's trying to gunboat the Vladivostok. Remains to be seen whether they're going to be able to deal with that problem soon. The Baltimore has
Yeah.
moved up now an island. The Hipper still able to see and shoot. Edinburgh not really doing any damage there. The Baltimore's actually evened up the fight between himself and the Hipper, 13,000 to 10,000, so it's not all lost. 8,000, but a fire on the Baltimore. This could spell the end for Nayan Cool.
Oh, he's got one more radar. I think he's spotting now Edinburgh. Edinburgh is spotted now, and even Vara Prasad is finally free from his island.
Oh yeah,
Props to him.
this is gonna
And I
be great for Death Brigades because they've essentially been playing 4v3 right now, right? The
yeah.
Vladivostok has barely been in the game so far.
Okay, no, no. I think he will get stuck again. Oh no,
He's
no.
getting
He
stuck
moved
again.
his weight forward. Like either he had to reverse way a lot more towards right. Now he will get stuck again. Meanwhile, I think that INS Hellrain actually should move forward because like he spent too much time here. He should have, he could have literally moved around the flank and got behind the lightning because as he can see, right, Vara Prasad is still stuck, and he all this time he could have moved forward and forced lightning out of that position till now.
Alright, well, we do have first blood as the Baltimore's finally going to fall to the onslaught from the Hipper and the Edinburgh. The Lightning somehow still alive and
And
gunboating the Z. This is
yeah,
interesting.
that is actually very good. Like Z is also down to like 2.5k health, and now they are under pressure now because they have one over open flank. Wicked Away has been forced to move into cover now in the islands because of fire from both sides.
And what's actually great is, Lightning's position here, right? He's playing the island perfectly, Gummi Deepak, because he goes in, he smokes up, he denies middle cap, and then he's back out again once the smoke runs out. So he's actually denying them very, very valuable points, allowing his team to maintain that solid lead. They have a 200 point and one ship lead. The Z is barely alive. The Vladivostok is taken about 30% damage and on fire, and the Vladdy's pushed into the middle. Wicked
Yeah,
Avi, what are you doing?
yeah, even and the thing is like that smoke that Z spent, right? That were worked in the favor of that brigade. You know why? Because while they smoked, Gabby would come out and like he could start shooting freely. He didn't even need to use his own smoke because he was inside. He was
Oh, look
obscuring
at
the.
what's happened here. The Talon has snuck in from behind and he has radared the Lightning, who is going to have to reverse and get back into island cover, or it's going to be
Yeah.
the end of the game. Few Shell's going to make it through. 3000
Oh
HP
man.
left. How long is the Talon radar?
It's 15 seconds if I remember correctly.
And there we go. You see the smoke coming out again, and he's just going to edge back into the center cap, get into a position where he can shoot over the island, and that's all he has to do. He's just gonna keep gunboating them.
Yeah. Yeah, even now, I think Hippo position has worked out well. Maybe Hippo should actually try to move a bit front, but I think that is still fine as long as he's getting the fire on Vladivostok. And I think the thing is, Stalin made the push very late. He should have made this push just like a 2-3 minutes or even 4 minutes ago when the Vladivostok was stuck all the time. Like there was so good opportunity when the Vladivostok was stuck because he can't. I don't know why
Yeah,
didn't
he
they
would have had a
take out.
great crossfire on the Edinburgh, who wouldn't have been able to, get out in time, and the Vlad wouldn't have been able to support it.
Yeah, now see, now he's stuck there. He can't even do anything. because he has to now hide from Vladivostok. He can't do anything.
Oh, misfire here. Gummy Deepak accidentally took pot shot, I think misclicked and fired as his torpedoes are out.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. It's a misclick, but I think he just wanted to like just get a maybe try to get a fire and hope that Wicked Avi repairs and then basically get a flooding. So that will also actually good thing. And I think he didn't. He has still one
Those are,
torpedo
by the
left.
way, those are brilliant torpedoes.
Oh, those are so
That
good
is that is
torpedoes.
going to sink the Vlad. That is
Vlad,
bye bye Vlad.
Vlad is
That was
man.
beautifully done.
So Dead Brigade actually has got their game together finally now.
Yep. And I think a lot has to do with how well, Gummy Deepak played in denying the center, and how well the
Yeah.
Edinburgh and Hipper did to hold off that flank and pick off one cruiser all by themselves.
Yeah, I think this composition worked there very well for them. Even the Hipper position worked very well. Now I think the Hipper is, now out of the game, kind of, to be honest. But I think he has done his job, to be honest.
Yeah, the
Hipper has done
Hipper
his
did his
job.
job. That's all he had to do. They had to get the kill early, put the pressure on, and then they had a game plan, and for a change, it actually worked. It just goes to show
Yeah.
how all these maps require a very different playstyle. And oh my God, the Talon's gonna turn into the torpedoes.
Oh man, has been very unfortunate,
This
to
is
be
a
honest.
masterclass in DD play by Gummy Deepak. Beautiful stuff, gorgeous play, as he's gonna pick up his second kill of the match, folks.
Yeah,
What a guy!
as the
What a
Hipper is,
guy!
like, seriously, man. This has been
I'd
working.
go for the triple. I would rush the Z, and I'd be like, "Witness me."
Yeah, even I think more surprisingly that they won with a stock Vladivostok. Like this is a totally stock Vladivostok because I can see it's a very slow Vladivostok. And it's so slow and everything and all. Even with a stock Vladivostok, they just won. uh, this has been a really good match, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I think what happened here is that. The Dead Brigade has got their game together. I think the main thing combination really worked this time for this map because there were a lot of islands. So even Edinburgh actually can make use of its radar and make use of its arc.
It's not a large map, right? It's a lot of islands providing a lot of cover, and it's one of the smaller maps. And finally, folks, Death Brigade off the starting block. They're gonna pick up their first win and get some points on the board. It's only day 4. They've got 5 more opportunities to get back in this and still finish in the top half. Great stuff. Unfortunately, Vengeance couldn't make it work this time around, and they're gonna have to go back to the drawing board again for tomorrow. We're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna be back with match 3 of day 4 of Shipfest Season 2, brought to you by LG Ultragear. And welcome back, folks. For the third game of the day, we have joint leaders. Now, there was a bro moment in red in Bravo, going up against Buff Admiral Hipper with a decent record so far, 2 wins and a loss out of their 3 games. Are they going to move up the ladder, or is now that was a bro moment going to continue their unbeaten streak in the event so far? I'm joined once again by Fizz Killer and Valkyrie. Guys, take it away.
Well, this should be a good matchup. This should show us how good Buff Admiral really is, and yeah, pretty standard team lineups, I would say. But I'm surprised we don't see more Clevelands because, as you saw in the first game, that Cleveland can really hurt because of its shell angles.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we might really see later. I'm not sure, but like again, having like talents and hippers are actually proving a very good choice. Even if we can see last match that Brigade had a very peculiar position, which was very surprising because nobody had really thought of that position in any game so far. So that I think they might be eyeing for this. Bazinga is, as you can see, I think going for the same hipper position
Yeah,
last game.
and this is, I think, the third different ship we've seen Bazinga play. He's played the Chapayev, he's played the Charles Martel, if I'm not mistaken, and
Yeah,
now the Albemarle.
Yeah,
Albemarle, he has. I think he was in the like, first match. He had did play the Albemarle, if I remember correctly.
yeah, he did. And these guys are really good. They belong to really good clans. They're experienced campaigners, and not just individual skills. They know how to coordinate their attacks, right? Because that's the most important thing. If there's a ship pushing, you need to have
Oh,
a
is he gonna
backup.
take a torp? Is he gonna take a torp?
Oh no, 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 he's fine. He's fine.
Yikes!
The
But I
most
think he
shameful
has been
thing,
radared.
the most shameful thing you can do in a lightning is take a torp.
Most
Yeah,
shameful thing
yeah,
you can
that's
do in
oh
any
yeah,
PVC. Oh, look at this unnecessary aggression coming in from Curryman. He's gonna be caught in no man's land. There's the Vlad, the Baltimore, the Lightning, all in potentially positions that can shoot
Oof.
him without too much support from the rest of his team because they're all on the other flank.
Yeah, that's
okay.
a
There
very
is disaster
strange move.
happening. Flesh and Bone is stuck with broadside towards Vladivostok. This is looking bad.
This
Oh
is a bit
God.
of a strange move, I have to say, because the biggest thing you need to do is hold back for a bit, understand where the enemy positions are, and then position your ships accordingly. I think if you automatically assume that the enemy is going to go one way, you can sometimes get caught out like the Curryman did there.
See,
Flesh and
Flesh
Bone
and Bone
took a
has took a damage.
huge salvo there. That
Lucky to escape, though. I would say. I mean, he's only lost what 15K, I think.
16,000. Yeah,
Yeah,
could have
But
been
he's
much
moving
worse.
forward.
yeah, could have
He's
been much
moving
worse.
forward. I think he's going up bow in against Captain Raj and Khanna maybe.
Yeah, and by the way, the Hipper Curryman has turned around. Ooh,
Oh,
takes a
he took some
huge,
damage.
huge
Yeah, not
salvo from the butt.
not great play by the Curryman. I mean, I understand why he wanted to position himself there to farm the Vladivostok, but you've got the Baltimore there, and the Vladi at this range, you need to be a little further out. You can't be at 10 kilometers, 9 kilometers to a Vladivostok and expect to farm him because the Vladi will hit back. Even if you're angled, even if you're bow in, a Vladi, because of how precisely it can position its shots, will hurt.
In the
Interesting
meantime,
move
Yep.
the
too.
outer ring, folks, has been taken by Buff Admiral Hipper as they are going to start dictating how this game flows. Bazinga Flux taking a lot more damage in this early phase than he's used to. He's actually the one dictating how that engagement goes. The Lightnings have spotted each other in the middle as Lucifer's going to get radared. He's going to have to get the hell out of there real quick, as you can see. He
Yeah.
is
Even what did he?
hightailing it, taking a lot of damage as worst DD player is going
Oh,
balls to
he's
the
gonna.
wall.
Oh, he's beast. He's beast. He's beast. It's a
Oh
disaster.
God, and that's like a tiny invisible rock that you just don't see or expect.
Oh my god, this is a total disaster.
Ah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
And
This
that
has
that's just sad, because it was going so well for them.
yeah. And look, this is the difference between good teams and average teams, right? If you look at the Albemarle is about 15 kilometers from the Vladivostok. He knows how much distance to keep to negate the accuracy of the Vladivostok, right? However, Curryman didn't do the same with the enemy Vladivostok, and that's the difference you see.
So look at how far back Curryman is gone now.
I think
Yeah.
that is a fine position. That is a good position, but he should have done that in
Wow,
starting
major
itself.
push right through the center for Bra moment. They
So,
know the
Yeah,
DD is down, so
yep.
they
Now,
want to
now they're
capitalize on
just
it.
gonna park that Vladivostok there as cannon fodder, and
exactly.
these torpedoes. In fact, they're gonna actually prevent the Talon and Vladivostok from making any sort of plays, allowing worst DD player to get into another position behind the islands. Bazinga Flux is gonna keep raining down fire from the sides. Let's actually take a
Amazing
look at that quick
flanking there.
replay, folks, on how they lost that DD. It was very unfortunate. So the two Lightnings were in a gunfight. Uh, our friend Lucifer smoked up, and then just as he got radared and he was escaping, he actually ran into the smallest rock in the formation that was just barely peeking underwater. So kind of like a Titanic situation. He thought it's not there, but it was bigger than he expected, and boom. They
Flesh and
Yeah,
Bone moving in to avoid the Hipper's HE spam, and that's, I think, a good move because now he's only facing the enemy Vladivostok one on one. The Talon can't possibly have shots on him. If the
Yeah,
Talon peeks out, he's got broadside for the Talon, and he should
oh
be able to
no,
delete him out of existence.
I think the Talon wants to drive
Talon
by
moving
torpedo.
in. Yeah, Talon is doing that. Talon is
A
being forced to take submission, but I think the
questionable
Flesh
move.
and Bone has started reversing. Flesh and Bone has started reversing
I
and
have to
disregarding
say
this.
that's a questionable move because what he's forgetting is that there's an Albemarle on the flank.
Yeah, but look at this.
Uh,
The island is actually going to protect him. After this salvo, he's actually going to be untouchable by the Albemarle for a few seconds.
Okay, this might actually be a good.
Wow, he's
This
going for a
might be a
drive-by.
perfect
This is
coverage.
interesting.
Oh, beautiful!
Oh,
Oh, more expensive than he thought. That's a death strike coming in for the Vladivostok, as that is a one-for-one trade, not what the Talon ordered. Yikes! Just when you thought the Buff Admiral Hipper gave us a play of the game, the Vlad was on point. He knew he only had one shot and he made it count. What a play.
look at
Question is,
Bazinga. Look at Bazinga.
is the Baltimore going to survive this? Shots out with one rear turret, reasonable amount of damage. However, what you should also realize is that that Team Bravo is actually has actually still got their DD, and
Yo, worst
Bazinga's
DD player
dead.
going for his drive-by, and Captain Rajan Khanna is actually stuck on the floating carcass of the other
Oh,
Vladivostok.
and
He's
this
he's
is
sh-
oh my, this
he's
is
no, he's gonna dodge the first three, potentially the fourth. No, he's gonna take five
no.
torpedoes.
He's dead.
Be able to
No,
smoke
he's
up
dead.
now. He's 2.3 away. He should be able to smoke up. I don't understand. Oh, the Vladdy is the last person alive, so no one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see how Bazinga really moved in from the back and were like this moving. Bazinga was kept unchecked. He came in from the back and just started farming them from behind.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I mean, Flesh and Bone from Flesh and Bone from Raw Moment knew what the Talon was up to. He'd already turned his turrets and he was ready. He was ready to die, but he was ready to take the Talon with him,
yeah.
and which is exactly
Exactly.
what you should do, right?
And that
Uh,
trade is why they didn't lose the game, because without the Vlad, they would have been in serious trouble, because two cruisers, uh, with such a small map and the battleship, they could have definitely held on and denied, considering the points were in the favor of Buff Admiral Hipper.
Yeah, and once the radar was out, I mean, it was basically curtains because once the radar's out, the lightning comes out to play.
Yeah, so great stuff there coming out. Now there was a Bra moment, reinforcing that position on top. 4 wins, undefeated so far as the streak continues. Buff Admiral Hippert now 2 for 2. We're going to come back in just a little bit with our next game, so don't go anywhere. And we're back, folks. This time we've got Team Crazy going up against Radioactive. Radioactive also looking to further their unbeaten record and join, or rather rejoin, now there was a bro moment, tied at top with 12 points apiece. Crazy, on the other hand, they are looking to get some more points on the board. And what an interesting pick we have here in this Kagero. Valk, Fizz, any thoughts?
The Kagero
Yeah,
is a little interesting, and I'm assuming that it's a top reload Kagero, but
We
let's see
saw
how that
Kagero
pans out.
yesterday as well.
Didn't pan out too
yeah,
well yesterday, did it?
Yeah, we just saw one quick set of torps and bye bye.
Yeah.
yeah. I would have, I would have agreed, but again, it's Sierra 1-1 and because I played with him, I know he plays the DDs well. So I have faith in like he can play that well, even if it's a top reload or either smoke. And interesting thing is Freddy in the Cleveland also again having a sorority expert. So I'm not sure what's with the people taking sorority expert honestly in a tournament in the cruisers. So
Yeah, and the thing is, especially with the Kagero, right? You need to have ships that have more than just one ability. And the Kagero, unfortunately, has only one ability, and that's Torps, right? If you look at the Lightning, it has Hydro, so it can possibly detect Torps for its team, and it also has those quick smokes. So if it needs to cover someone, it can do that. The Baltimore
yeah,
has radar and really good AP and HE. Vladivostok is tanky and is accurate. Albemarle has that really big zombie heal. So every ship that you look at here has more than one ability. The Kagero, unfortunately, is very unidimensional.
yep. And I think, but maybe it doesn't it can throw its weights with guns. I think, but like Sierra really should avoid them unless it's like it would be worth it. Oh, I think lightning has been spotted by
Fazi,
Cleveland radar.
yeah, Fazi, if you're using Kagero guns, that means either the game is ending or you're just about to die. Because
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I have faith in Sierra because I played with him. I have faith in him.
Yeah, you might have faith in the guy, but you can't possibly think that him firing his shells in the Kogero, I think that would possibly indicate a pretty desperate situation. So Albemarle again out wide on the flank, and I think that is a reasonable play.
That's, I
Albemarle,
think, par for the course, right? We've
yeah,
seen
Yeah.
everybody send one cruiser out beyond this island at, I4, I5.
yeah. And the thing is, if they go on doing this throughout the game, the Baltimore and the Albemarle, the Baltimore is going to come out. Sorry, the Albemarle is going to come out on top with the heal,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
the Baltimore is never, while it might have slightly more DPM, the Baltimore can never hold a candle to the Albemarle. Plus, I think the Albemarle has higher range, and Fazi, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Albemarle also has longer range.
Yeah, a bit longer than Baltimore. Yes, like they have that with a bit of longer range. But I think most of the
Yeah.
teams have been saying the reasoning behind the album is basic that zombie heal. As you can see, it was like less than 39,000 I think current HP, and then it healed back. So again, so Baltimore is now moving into the islands, and Sierra is spotted by radar probably.
Yeah, radar from the Baltimore, that is. Now, what's interesting is, while Sierra was actually flanking around the middle ring from the side, uh, Salty Balance had actually captured the middle ring, the center ring, sorry, and
Yep.
that's giving them a lot of uncontested points at, for now, and that is invaluable in this map, especially because all the circles are so close together. They're not large. It's not a large map that you can't shoot across, and it's giving a lot of interesting outcomes in scenarios where teams are actually being forced to take aggressive denial stances or go for an aggressive pickoff. Right now,
Yeah.
Lord Dipesh had been capturing the outer ring,
Oh,
and
he
the
took a
whole
he
thing
took
got reset, and he lost a lot of HP broadside to the Vladivostok.
Yeah,
Yikes!
yeah,
Vengeance
that
showing why they're so good. I think they've
it's
made the
radioactive.
Radioactive.
Yeah, I think Vengeance have shown why they're so good. They've basically held their patience. They'd lost the center cap, but then they won it back again. Now they're losing it to the Kagero again. But if you had noticed why Salty Balance had smoked up that time. Basically, he'd smoked up in anticipation of the Baltimore's radar, and that is the sort of coordination you want in these teams, right? Where you basically have people communicating with each other. Okay, I'm going to smoke up. I'm going to have shots on the Kagero. When I say it, you radar, and then you trigger it and you catch the guy unawares.
Yeah.
This is
So I
possibly a scary situation for Sierra. By the way, he's passing right in front of all those
Baltimore.
guns and counting
Yeah,
on the
and
multi radar being on cooldown.
but actually they got a middle cap in the meanwhile, and no,
Yeah.
and uncontested on top of
Also,
that.
I think a bit of a confusion regarding the names. Crazy's on Alpha in green and Radioactive's in red.
Right. I think I've been calling them Vengeance.
Yeah, yeah, we
Yes.
have been
Right.
trying to correct.
My bad, my bad.
Too many games.
Yeah, too many games, too many days, but it's been a fun journey, man.
I think the radioactive has still a good chance because they had defeated shot in the first game, so I'm not really ruling them out. Let's see them. It was really like we will see if like was it just a fluke, or was it just like the shot was
Yeah,
rusty, or was it
that
really
was
the skill?
easily, the shock of the tournaments,
Yeah.
and on day one that too.
No, but they seem to be a good team. I mean, the sort of
Yeah,
plays they've been making, I think this is definitely a very strong team. We've seen other clan members from HFA in other teams, and they haven't been as good. In fact, HFA, in fact, Alpha team is also HFA, and
yeah,
there is a market difference between the two teams. I think Radioactive represents the best within HFA. That would be my
yeah.
Also,
guess.
look at what's happening to
Behind, yeah,
Wallace
Albemarle
Rain.
and Cleveland.
He
Like
is stuck behind that island. He's got nowhere to go, very little HP, and Preddy is effectively hunting him. Preddy's
yeah,
been
but
given
I'm
one
not
job
sure
to
it's a
sink
good.
that Albemarle.
not sure he's a
Surprising
good search.
decision for Admiral Affection to be pushing in right now. Is he
So
going to eat another top?
he's definitely gonna take one.
Yes. Wow, that's the second top, and that brings him down to less than half HP. They've
And
taken out
Vladivostok pushing in.
Albemarle as well.
Vladivostok pushing in. Vladivostok pushing in literally towards Kagero.
So the tops are gone on the Kagero, unless and he's
Salty
got
balance.
smoke.
Salty
No.
Balance is going to trap this Kagero right now. He's going to come
Yeah.
into hydro range really quickly. He's hydroed now, I'm pretty sure. Yep, he
This
is.
is. Oh man,
That
like
could be the end for Sierra, I would expect.
oh man. Okay, I think he might survive.
It's not shooting
Oh my
Kagero.
god.
Surprising decision
Oh
there.
my.
Salty Balance decided not to shoot at the Kagero.
Sierra was lucky. Sierra was way lucky here. He
Sierra
was
was
very lucky.
really lucky. I would agree, Fazi. Sierra was super lucky. Is he still in the range of the Baltimore for radar? I don't think so.
No, he's not. Baltimore is way behind. And Admiral Vexer is
But he's
now
hard
all in.
spotted
He's
by
into
Salty
pushing
Balance.
in.
He's actually hard spotted by Salty Balance. He shot a salvo at Salty Balance. And
Yeah, but look
the
at what's
trouble-
happening here. The Vladivostok is in a 2v1 charge, and it doesn't look
Oh,
like it's
he's
gonna
gonna
end
get
well
stuck.
for him.
He's gonna get stuck. He will get stuck.
and that's
again.
the end of Sierra.
And Vladivostok.
The Balti takes
Admiral
out Vladdy. Wow. Okay, this is an interesting game. Although I have to say,
This has been really, I mean, very surprising.
in a spot of bother right now. Although the Baltimore is on pretty low health, and Pratik should ideally just push in and get rid of this Balti. I think that's what he's doing. That's it. So it's 2v2.
But look at the points, right? You know, till now we actually had Radioactive down as one of the tournament favorites thanks to their 3-0 record so far.
Yeah. And
Even you can see Cleveland is all alone in that last circle. So he's like all the points are coming from both middle and from the last string. So I mean, even if like they kind of survive, even if the pace dies, I think they have a good chance to win still.
yeah, I mean, what's going to happen now is Freddy is going to flank Pratik, and while the Cleveland might not in a one-on-one might not be the best ship, but when he has a Vladivostok for support,
Oh, that's a good AP salvo. That's a
Yeah.
good AP salvo.
yeah, I doubt Pratik can hold on for too much longer.
Yeah, the Pratik
Yeah.
needs to be, he's going to be forced to take the Vladivostok head on.
Yep.
He has put it on fire, and I think this is where the lightning needs to come in and
Oh.
maybe go for a YOLO top, because short of that, I do not see them coming back into this game.
Yeah, it has
Yeah.
to be Salty Balance basically has to now YOLO, and somehow Pratik has to manage to stay alive. I don't know how he's going to manage to do that, but that's going to be critical. And besides that, the points are ticking over. I mean, they're already at 730
Yep.
points. So Radioactive in a bit of trouble, I would have to say.
Oh, look at
Yeah,
that, Lord
the
Dipesh.
album
He's actually starting to push in
Oh.
now. He's got an inkling feeling that the lightning has not fired its second salvo. I haven't seen the lightning in a while, and he's actually now running away, which means the lightning is gonna have to go further in to shoot him. Oh, he gets the kill on Pratik, and now
And-
Preddy's Cleveland is gonna be there to counter that lightning push.
And that is the
Yeah.
worst possible way you can top anyone, and that is when they're running away from you. I mean, that is the worst possible angle to top from. Also, he's now going to be spotted and
Spotted. It's spotted. It's spotted.
yeah, this is not going to work out. I don't think this is. And I bet Lord Dipesh has HE loaded now.
Yep. And I think the thing what happened that Albumer dying made them very desperate. I think they just like fumbled. They got shocked with the Albumer dying. I think Albumer pushed too far, to be honest. Like he pushed too in far. He should have stayed back, farmed, but that already has happened.
That was
That,
quite a game. I would call that an upset
that was
because
absolutely.
Paisley has actually lost 2 games in the past 3 days, and they were three played and only won one. But they've actually beaten the top team, the joint top team in the whole league. Interesting.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think anybody saw that coming. Anybody who's been following the event or the matches. So it's definitely going to shake things up at the top. Now that was a bro moment, are going to now put some distance between themselves and the rest of the pack. Shot, on the other hand, who are coming up next, shot callers. They're going to have a chance to cut that lead down from 6 points to just 3 as they look for their third win out of 4, having lost a match early on in the tournament. We're going to take a quick break, folks, and then we're going to come back with the last game of the day featuring the reigning champions, Shot Callers. Welcome back, folks, to the final game of Day 4 on Shipfest Season 2, brought to you by LG Ultragear. We have got Indian Naval Command going up against the reigning champions, Shot Callers. Unfortunate for Indian Naval Command, they actually do have a bot. And finally, thankfully, their third player has connected, so no rehost required. But they are playing with Bot Fletcher on the Hipper. How much do you think this is going to factor in, Fizz, Valk?
Well, if you're going to play a bot, a DD is probably the best idea because a cruiser just does not work out well as a bot. However, while the DD might be able to stay alive for longer, uh, it's less useful than a regular DD player. So I'm not very hopeful, I have to say. Plus,
Yeah,
INC hasn't exactly had the best tournament until now. They're in the last position. They really can't afford to be playing bots right now.
Yeah,
yeah,
unfortunate one of their players had a power cut, but it's better than a forfeit. At least they get to give it a try.
yeah. And I think like I'm not sure if bots are the bots fully upgraded with the upgrades, ship upgrades.
Uh, that is uncertain. I
Yeah,
would
because
not
I
know.
think they don't have full. Oh my god! And the bot is I think running the tops.
Ouch. Gonna
Yeah, the
take
bot is running
torps?
tops.
No, it's the
Oh,
lightning.
they're
They're
not
gonna
allowed.
run out. Yeah,
Yeah, then that is fine. But he already has a beating.
yeah. He took a
Already.
huge
I
salvo
need
from the Amagi.
I need to correct myself. I thought they were playing the Fletcher as a bot, but the bot's
No,
Oh,
name
it's
is
oh.
it's it's Bot Fletcher playing the Hipper.
yeah. Wow. Yeah, but I
And
mean
again,
the cruisers generally as a bot they just die. I'm
yeah.
pretty sure this guy is going to be the first one to die.
Honestly,
Uh,
I'd put the battleship as a bot and just like be like, you
Bot.
know what, you've got enough HP to tank, and because they'll be shooting at you, we'll know where they are at least, and we
Yeah.
can
yeah,
maybe work around that.
but the finishing moves at endgame, those are what the BBs are for, and to punish mistakes. Humans are able to predict when someone is going to be in trouble in the opposition team, right? The bots aren't. The bots basically react to what they're seeing right in front of them and just play according to that.
Yeah,
Sure.
and I think again Varun taking shots everywhere, very nice shots everywhere. At Hipper he took shots, and now he took chipped off like 15k off Bismarck also. So again, Varun with the Magi doing his magic as always.
We
Yeah,
got the Talon radar coming in, Skin 84. He's gonna spot Invader, and the bot and the Akizuki both gonna get some shots off.
Yeah,
Invader getting chunked down little by little, loses only 2000 HP thankfully for him.
yeah, but Tenny was chipping with the second hit also, and Tenny is gonna ground again. We have seen lots of grounding in this day, like too many groundings
yeah,
combined
In
more than
fact,
till
they're
now.
both grounded, the Talon and the battleship.
yeah. And if you look at Invader's positioning, right? Invader's always in a position where he's able to spot, but the moment he's radar, he's able to hide behind an island. And that is critical. That is good DD play. That he always has an escape route for when he's radared. We've seen a lot of DDs who've crossed right across in front of radar cruisers, and the moment the cruiser gets detected, they're just radared and then chunked down. But Invader is really smart that way. He's always got a plan B the moment he's radared, and sometimes he's probably baiting the radar out so that it gives him a little more freedom.
Yep, for sure. Shot callers, by the way, have amassed a 160-point lead already as INC looks to recap the points. Sonu Chandan dodges the salvo out from Invader as he's denying the middle
Yeah,
cap.
Yeah,
and
the
that's
Hipper's
the
down.
inevitable end of bot.
Yep, as predicted, the first one to die. Not such a big surprise. Uh, what can INC do now? I mean, what do you guys think their
I think
options
the
are?
I'm not sure because now see the Talon has a free reign. It will now come from behind and literally radar the hell out of Akizuki and like start shooting him. That's the thing, and Hakizuki can't do anything in his position because like in front is Baltimore and Lightning, and the Talon's moving from behind. He's totally stuck. I think it's probably best for him to just reverse out rather than face two ships up ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's gonna be
to
very
be
tricky.
totally frank, right now, SK and 84 doesn't really seem to be in the game, and he really needs to be putting pressure on Awesome, and really
Yeah.
needs to start chunking Awesome down. But I don't see that happening, even though it's going to be a one-on-one battle because the others couldn't have shot at him. Now they can because he's crossing in
Oh,
front of that island.
radar from Talon, radar from Awesome. Yeah, Aki Solution is radar right now, and I think this will be very difficult for INC currently. Shots out everywhere on Akizuki.
It
Look
was
at those
always gonna
shots.
be difficult for
Those
INC for
shots are really
with
smart.
the
Oh
bot.
man, those he's
Those
oh,
stops are really
okay. He
smart.
might dodge them. He might
No,
oh no
no,
no no
no.
no this is um
He dodged it.
no
Yo!
no
8-1, and
and
now
he's flooding he's flooding. I think he
he is
uses
flooding.
repair and
Yeah.
now he's flooding.
And he's spotted again.
How is he spotted again though? I think that must be the Baltimore radar now.
No,
Uh,
he got out of smoke I think,
No, yeah, but
but actually
yeah,
Baltimore radar. Yeah,
yeah, it is the
correct.
Baltimore radar, and yeah, that's the end of the Akizuki. I think shot callers are showing why they were pre-tournament favorites. I know they dropped the game on the very first day, which was very surprising for everyone. But then the folks that they lost to Radioactive, I think showed that they are also a really good team. So uh, shot callers shouldn't definitely not be dejected by that one loss, because I think it's still a long tournament. You don't know how Radioactive's going. Radioactive already lost one game. So
Yeah, they just a game before they lost. But yeah, I think
you
that this
never know.
time though it was a bit very easy for them to win. To be honest, since having a bot just
Not so
makes it a
sure
whole
about
lot
this
different.
Baltimore push though from I'm not Groot.
Now he's
I
gonna
think
stop right there. The Talon's not gonna get an opportunity to drop
no,
tops, and the
he's dead.
Baltimore's gonna
Yeah,
get
the
a
Talon's not going
beautiful
to get.
free. Oh, well, he doesn't
Wow.
even need it. The
Okay, that was
Talon from behind.
that was not a good move from the Talon. He should have
Yeah,
waited because the Bismarck was coming right around the corner, and they'd have both flanked I'm not Groot and had him in their sights. But uh, I
I
think
think
it's
the
the
Amar.
forward
Yeah,
pressure
I
that's
think
telling
Groot is
him.
probably just gonna ram him now and finish it.
yeah, and like as I said, Omar Varun was right behind Baltimore. That there's no way he could have really pushed because as we see, like Varun just chunked the whole hell out of that talent,
And
and
that
that was really the end of
Ram,
it. So again,
wow, Ram denied,
oh,
but he gets him with the shells anyway.
Yeah, unfortunate day for INC. First the bot, and then the bot getting picked off early on before they could really get a hold of the game. It looks like their troubles are going from bad to worse as 4 games in, they are still without a win. On the upside, shot callers make it at 9 points, three behind the current leaders now. Now that was a bro moment, tied with Radioactive at 9 points, shot callers. So it's going to get exciting tomorrow. I think we're going to see two of the top three teams face off against each other again. So I think this is when, now that was a bro moment, are going to start feeling comfortable. If they put together one more win on the board, right, that is 15 uh, out of a potential 27 points already on the board. That's going to make it
yep,
very, interesting to go into that last phase of the tournament. So
yeah.
4 days down, 5 more play days to go. Guys, are you comfortable enough to make a prediction?
Well, shot callers, I would say, are going to be top three for sure. That's my prediction. And from what I've seen of Radioactive, uh, I'm
But by
assuming,
the way, they're just one win ahead from Pichu Gang Max, Buff Admiral Hipper, Soviet Union, and Crazy. Right, so it's
yeah,
not like there's a lot of distance between them and the pack.
Yeah, but the big thing is who have they won against and who have they lost against, right? Because what we've seen is Bichu Gang, Buff Admiral, Soviet Union, crazy. Uh, they've won against teams that aren't all that good, and they've actually lost to teams who are reasonably good, or have sometimes
Yeah,
lost to teams who are as good as them.
Hmm.
Uh, if you look at Short Callers lost to Radioactive, and that was a good game. These are two strong teams, and they went head to head. Bro Moment is a good team. I think the top three will stay pretty much the same. I think these guys
yeah,
have shown that they are they're slightly ahead of the midfield for sure.
yeah. And most of the things you have seen, most of the players, these top scenes, have you seen the one pattern is that they have been participating in a lot of clan battles and lot of, tournaments. Even, that's the main thing. So, like, they are very experienced and more in the team on the bottom half and even mid ones. So they have been really haven't been, outside of clan battles. They don't have much experience, to be honest.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely exciting over the next couple of days, as we'll get a better idea of, the top two or three, the middle two or three, and then the bottom of the pack, right? And this is when things are going to start getting interesting in the league, folks. Remember, you can find all the Warships action every day at 9 p.m. right here on the Esports Club, all the World of Warships India Facebook page. Make sure you like, subscribe, and toggle the Facebook Live notifications and the YouTube notifications so you get to know whenever we are live. Thank you for today. That's it for all the games. I'm Captain Arya, and with me were the voices of Fizzkiller and Valkyrie. This is Shipfest Season 2, brought to you by LG Ultragear. We'll be back with more Warships action tomorrow.